Well, we're back
Yes.
after a big break.
Yeah, I don't even know how many weeks it's been.
It's been like a month.
Yeah, well, shouldn't have gone back to Illinois.
Well, right now there's a foot of snow on the
Yeah,
ground.
no kidding.
And when I went, there wasn't.
Well, it's good to escape beforehand, because that looks like no fun at all.
Yeah. So we got through Christmas and New Year's, and is there any new things that Tanner's doing for the new year?
Oh, trying to quit the old tobacco.
Oh, okay.
See how that goes.
Yeah, you might want to do that.
Poor decision to do it on my worst time of year, but, we'll make it. We'll try.
Hey.
If it lasts, it lasts. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
That's the attitude. But, if,
set the bar low, you'll never be disappointed.
If anybody could do it, I have faith in you.
You're the only one that has faith, and I appreciate that.
Today's pod, I'm going to go over, we'll go over BOI.
Yep.
And then we'll do some direct file news along with what we think tax season will start.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just go over some updates from what we're doing in-house here.
Yeah.
So we can start off with this giant mess that's happening and confusing everybody in the country on this BOI reporting. Can you make any sense to someone who's kind of been out for the last month on this?
About what it is, or about
well, we can go over. We can go over what it is.
Overview,
I think because we've touched on it in prior pods.
Yeah, generally it's just
just businesses
being required to file beneficial ownership interest in I can't remember, like LLCs, partnerships, all that kind of jazz. And basically it's just a simple, what's the name of your company, I guess, and who are the owners, and what's your name, and I don't know if your responsibility or percentage of ownership, what all is involved in reporting on it. But apparently a lot of groups are pushing back against it.
Well, yeah, like we reported on previous pods, there wasn't a whole lot of businesses that were complying with the deadline that was supposed to be Jan 1, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a couple injunctions earlier in December that put a pause to it.
Yeah, suspended, I guess, at least until January 13th. But then that's also subject to.
Well, I think what they did is push. Didn't they just push? Originally, they pushed the deadline to January 13th, and then they even paused that.
Oh, is that all right? Oh, yep.
Yep. So
currently in limbo.
So whatever they're doing over there,
I don't know.
Is not the best for. What's today? The 6th.
Yeah.
So it's caused a lot of confusion.
Wow. Try again.
I'm confused. It's caused a lot of confusion. But at the end of the day, this thing's just been paused.
Yeah. And whether or not it'll be picked back up, who knows? Being that it's such a simple form, the whole purpose of it, the way I understand it, and they've kind of talked about it in here, is to kind of try to prevent fraud and money laundering and all that kind of stuff. And so obviously the people that are pushing back against it, to me, it seems a bit shady that they're the ones that don't want to do it.
I think a lot of the, in our industry, the big organizations are pushing back as well. Just because no one's really prepped on it and no one's complied. There's so many businesses out there that haven't done it. And this violation, this fine, have you seen this thing?
Yeah, like 500 some bucks a day up to 10,000.
But I want to say that it says willful violations are punishable by fine for $591 a day up to $10,000 and 2 years in prison. Yeah. That's per day. What?
It's pretty steep.
Yeah. So, it doesn't take a lot of time. I'm sure there's a lot of complicated business structures out there that might take a little longer than, the one that we did.
I can understand that might be a little bit difficult, lining out who all needs to file one of these, especially for the larger companies if you got a lot of people involved. Determining which ones that might be minor roles, if they need to file or not. But again, it's all was what is it voted on back in or passed by
2021.
2021. I mean, there's
been like waiting until the last minute.
Yeah, there's been time to get it out there. But again, like even though it's been passed since 2021, this is the first year I've ever heard about it. So that to me it seems they did a pretty poor job of informing people. Like, hey, in 3 years' time, you need to do this.
Right, and I think that's some of the argument. Some people think it's unlawful to even be, them to require you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I think is going to happen, I think it's going to get canned, at least for a year.
At least
year.
For probably this year, maybe.
I get why they're trying to do it, but
yeah,
it's just a huge mess right now. And I think if you put that deadline on people right now, it's just gonna cause a fire.
Yeah, if maybe they just can it for this year and get more information out about it and give them a little more time to figure out who all needs to file one. I think ultimately it's a good thing to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because
it's just a lot of
simple fact too,
transparency.
Prevent all the money laundering and other nefarious deeds that go on.
That wouldn't happen.
No, it's a fun word to say.
All right, so moving on. Tax season is almost here. As you know,
Feels like it's already here.
You've been pumping away on states, haven't you?
Just crushing them out, one by one.
Which one are you working on?
Just wrapped up Virginia this morning.
Anything cool out of Virginia?
It really doesn't seem to be a whole lot of changes. They adjusted standard deduction, probably increased some other inflation amounts, but really wasn't a whole lot of changes for them. Got Massachusetts up next. Probably be getting California back at some point today.
Cool.
That one's always just the most fun ever.
Yeah. So do you know like the process of like us getting states? So the states submit their forms to us, and then we update software based off that.
Yeah,
we have to, but we're at the mercy of the states.
A lot of the time, yeah, especially for getting print approval or other items for them to get the information on what they changed, because they send out a package. It's like I think it's called like the developer's guide. So that goes into deep details of what all changes, how these need to be changed, how they need to look when they get sent to the state themselves, all the formatting and all this kind of
But these things aren't set 2 months ago. They're rolling out.
Yeah,
right?
Some states are better than others as far as getting the information to the developers or software companies. Other states are a little bit slower. And then, of course, you can get some states ready, but like the print's not ready because those all have to be submitted to the states themselves in order to be approved by the states before those forms can be released for print. So that's why a lot of early times you'll have watermarks on all the forms.
Yeah.
So, and then some states now, they're still in draft forms where they haven't finalized any of the information exactly. So it's kind of a lot of back and forth between the developers and analysts before I even see it. So it's kind of just waiting on the states a lot of the times where they can only do so much until they get that approval from the state themselves. So other states are faster than others for approval.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
cool.
We're getting through them though. Hopefully be done
before the start date.
Before the start date.
Leads us to our next topic.
Yeah.
So last year was on the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Monday.
Yeah.
Of last year. So, I don't have a calendar, but was it MLK is on the 20th?
Yeah, you put it on here somewhere. The 20th.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I could see the start date coming out on the 21st. You think it might be that next Monday?
I hope.
We are not dropping any
purely
news.
Speculation. I think it might be the 27th, but I think I'm thinking that because I really hope it's the 27th and not
just
the 21st.
For timing.
Yeah, makes it a little bit easier, or gives an extra week to hopefully have most, if not all, states and stuff ready to go.
I might say it's on the 21st, but
well, sir,
I don't care about your
hope
workload.
you're wrong. That's very mean. I hope.
But with that being said, it's going to be here before we know it.
It's starting. Whether it's the 21st or 27th, it's coming, and it's not very far off. I mean, we're sitting here, it's the 6th, so whether it's 2 or 3 weeks away, it's still coming.
Yeah.
And, all I can do is be ready for it, because, boy, is it fun. It's a fun time of year.
Well, I mean, our software's out.
Yep.
People are logging in, preparing returns, getting them ready. W-2s are required to be out by now, correct?
I think really it's February.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm way off on that.
Yeah, so you're going to be off on the 21st, too. You don't even know when the W-2s are required to be out. A lot of companies are getting them out early.
Yeah.
But I think
Why did I think it was on the 31st?
I don't know. I think it's could be maybe the first week of February. I'm not even sure on the exact date. Definitely not now.
Now that you say that.
So I think there's a lot of companies, like bigger companies, might be getting them out early.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll move on from there. Let's go into the direct filing.
Oof.
So, Batul, can you change the screen to the third tab? Yeah. It's in the... Yep. There you go. Scroll down a little bit, just to the first paragraph. There we go. Thank you. All right, so the news just doesn't, it just keeps looking worse for this direct file program with the IRS. If you don't know, that the IRS has a direct file program where you can go in and file for free your tax return. It's geared towards more low-income tax preparers with simple returns.
I think so. That or just maybe not necessarily low income, but definitely more of like the simple type returns, maybe just 1 W-2, 2 W-2 type kind of things.
Yeah, and I think there were some stats in here. They filed roughly 141,000 returns on it with 12 states available for last season. And they were looking to expand to 24 states for this year and probably pump a lot more returns in there. But more and more as we get closer to January 20th, where Trump comes in.
Yeah.
He's already said that he's going to appoint a new director of the IRS.
I think he already has. What did they say? What is his name?
Yeah, Billy Long.
Billy Long.
And I could see them basically cutting that program.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that could liably be the case. They've already, I think, what's the word I'm looking for? Pitched that to Trump for him to kind of.
Well, they wrote a letter to him.
And the fact here shows, Congress will need to pass by this weekend to avoid government shutdown, includes a $20 billion cut in the IRS budget. So, they're already short-staffed. They're cutting that budget. How much more can they pump into looking into this program?
Here's what I could see. Definitely when Trump gets in office, the Doge committee.
Oh, the old Doge.
They're going to look at this and be like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other programs that you can file for free.
Yeah, there's a lot of other services out there that give that free program between online, and then there's that VITA program that does income taxes for low-income individuals for free. So there's already these services out there. I never really saw the point of them pumping in all this time and money when these services exist for them to create a free file service. Seemed like
Yeah, and I think that's some of the argument is they think it's a little bit of a government overreach.
Yeah, and if you're looking at the Doge, governmental efficiency, I mean, how efficient is it to keep having this program that, one, only did 141,000. Now that, of course, was only in 12 states, but, and they opened it up to 24 states this year. If that's only maybe 250,000 returns that are going to be filed, that could potentially be filed through this, not a large number for what seemed like probably a good amount of effort and money put into this program.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's on its last leg, but who am I?
Who are you?
And there would be some other...
Dan is who?
Yeah, I'm definitely rocking my denim today. But yeah, there definitely would be some people happy if it went too.
Yeah, I mean...
Some of the... the people that offer the free files or the other software companies that, are geared more directly to those individuals. So we'll have to see.
Time will tell with it, but it doesn't look to be, by this article, that it is looking very likely.
Yeah,
for
the
this
letter.
To maybe continue.
Batul, can you click on that 4th tab? It's the next tab over. Yeah. Yeah, this is.
Oh, that's the letter?
Yeah, that's the letter that they wrote to him. So what does it say? We write to urge you to take immediate action. Basically, they're asking him on day 1, as soon as he gets in, to basically can this thing. So, yeah. I don't see this lasting unless something drastically changes, but the budget is what is probably going to kill it.
I would imagine so. I mean, gosh, $20 billion being cut. And then what I think I read in here, they're already behind on staffing for
supporting it.
Supporting that, or were they even talking about for the customer service for customer service agents to help taxpayers use it in 24 states. So yeah, I mean, it just seems
if you can't support it right now, you're not going to support it for this tax season. No. So yeah,
urging you to take immediate action, including but not limited to a day 1 executive order. They're wanting just to axe it immediately.
Yeah, they're wanting executive order, sign it on day 1.
Yeah. So we'll see, but the longevity of this program doesn't look very promising.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on to a couple in-house items that we have. We have going up to tax season, we always launch some webinars. We have one tomorrow. It's a Spanish webinar, all in Spanish for Spanish-speaking customers. And then I think we run 2 a week for the rest of the month. If you click on that last tab, we have our calendar. Yeah. So we have on the 14th, 16th, and then 21st, 23rd, 24th of this month.
24th being the tax law updates, and then the other ones being navigating the program.
So we got a month full of webinars.
Yeah.
So if you don't know about us, there's your opportunity to check us out.
And that date, 24th, it's going to be the 27th. I know it.
According to you.
Don't you put that evil on me. It's going to be. If you believe it, I'm just putting it out there.
I'm just trying to fill your day full of work.
You know, it's already full. I don't need the added stress.
Yeah, so you can check those out on crosslinktax.com/events. But yeah, that was pretty much all I had to come back on here and talk today.
Yeah, a couple little things.
You know what I'm gonna stop doing is at the end of these podcasts saying I'll see you next week, because it never happens anymore.
Well, if you keep saying it, if you keep believe it, maybe it'll happen.
Maybe I'll just say see you next time.
Might be a better one.
That's probably a better one.
No, I'm gonna keep saying see you next week.
You can say that. So I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah,
it's good to see you. Get you in here. I know you got to get back in state mode. So I will see you next time.
Next week.
Later.